Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and in today's video, we're unhauling some books. So a few days ago, I uploaded a reel in which I told you I am building my dream library. And the first step of this journey was to sort through all of my books. Okay, so this is the bookshelf so far. These are all the books that I have read and loved and that I definitely want to keep on my bookshelf. And this right here is my physical TBR. I want my bookshelf to be a reflection of my current reading tastes, and I want it to be a reflection of who I am as a reader. And that means that this bookshelf doesn't have space for books that no longer mean anything to me, books that I'm no longer interested in for whatever reason, because maybe I've outgrown them, or maybe I don't agree with the way the author has turned out to be. And like the books on here, which are going to be TBR books, I want them to be books that I am genuinely excited to read. These books over here, I very sort of like haphazardly put them together in the to go pile, like the pile which is going to be donated. But I want to be sure before I get rid of any of these books that I really want to either donate them or give them away. So we're going to go through them. And basically, if I change my mind, if I want them to be on my bookshelf, they will probably stay here. If I don't, then they're out. So let's go. Okay, so let's start with the first pile. The first book is Club You to Death by Anuja Chauhan. I actually have a second book exactly like this one, which I am keeping. I don't know why I have two of the same book, but since I already have one, this one is out. China Room by Sanjeev Sahota. I bought this book when I think this was like shortlisted for a Booker or something, and I was very interested in reading like award winning books. But since then, like my experience with award winning books has like changed, and I feel like I don't really enjoy a lot of these like highly acclaimed award winning books. And so I'm very careful about the books that I read, especially if they've been like shortlisted for a Booker or something. And this one, I don't know, I'm just not, it's not calling out to me, even though I think it might be a really good book, but I don't know. I don't think I will ever read this book. And so that's why this is in the out pile. Next is And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. This I think I got from like one of the secondhand book um book websites where you can basically order a bunch of cheap books. And I started reading this, but like I just couldn't get into it. The illustrations in this book are beautiful, but I just wasn't able to like get into the story, even though the illustrations are really good. And so this one is out because I don't think I will ever come back to it. Next is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I read this book. I did not like it at all, and that's why it's out. Like I don't think Alex Michaelides is my kind of author. I didn't like A Silent Patient. I didn't like The Maidens. I don't think I'm ever going to read any other book by him, and so I don't want him or his books on my bookshelf. The next one is Disney's Land by Richard Snow. Okay, so this one is one that I think I might actually keep because this is a nonfiction book and it's basically about how Disneyland was built. And I had started reading this, but maybe I read it at a time when I was like feeling very slumpy. And so I couldn't get into it. But I feel like now might be a really good time to dive back in because I really love Disney. I really love Disneyland. I think it's one of the most innovatively designed and built theme parks. And so this one is going in my keep pile. So I'm going to put it up here because I think I might keep that one. Next is Feminist Rani by Shaili Chopra and Meghna Pant. And this one also, I started reading, but it just felt very shallow. And so I don't think I'm ever going to read this. And so this is in the go pile. Next is Atonement by Ian McKevin. I've read this book. I really like this book, but I don't think I'm ever going to reread it. And if I want Atonement on my bookshelf, I don't want this version because I absolutely hate books which have the movie cover on it. I want like a different edition of Atonement if I want it on my bookshelf. So this one is out. Next is The House of Silk by Anthony Horowitz. I don't remember why I bought this book. And I don't know. I don't know why I bought this. I think again this was one of those like secondhand bookshop buys, just because it was very cheap. And I feel like that's not a good enough reason to buy a book just because it is very cheap. I don't think I'm ever going to read this. So it is out. Next is The Night Theater by Vikram Paralkar. I'm really sad that I feel like giving up this book because it's so beautiful, it's so pretty. But again, this has been on my bookshelf for years and I have just never felt like reading it. And so because of that, even though the cover is beautiful and I think it'll look beautiful on my shelf, I just don't feel compelled to read this book. And so that's why it's out. If I haven't felt like reading this in almost 5 years, I don't think I'm ever going to want to read it. The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. I've read this book. I didn't like it much, and that's why it's out because I didn't feel connected to this book in any way. After that is Kaikai by Vaishnavi Patel, another book that I have read and I did not like at all. At all. This was like one of the only books I think I've given 1 star to in like the past few years. I don't give 1 stars that easily. And like this was a 1 star read for me. So this is out as well. After that, we have Family Ties by Danielle Stee. This was another book that I got in like a mystery book situation thing, mystery box situation thing. And yeah, it's like torn and stuff. So I don't want this on my bookshelf. Next is The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenger. I really, really liked this book at one point in time. I remember this was one of the first like adult romance books that I read and I really enjoyed it. But I don't think I'm ever going to reread this book. And so that's why it's out as well. And then next is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like I just don't want self-help books on my bookshelf. I despise self-help books. And so I don't want them on my bookshelf. And so this one is also out. Okay, then we're gonna come down here, and these are some like very interesting books I feel where maybe a lot of you are gonna have opinions about why am I giving away these books? But anyway, let's go through them. The first one is The Guest Cat by Takashi Hiraide. I honestly don't ever remember buying this book, so I don't know if it's mine. And so because I don't remember buying it, it's out. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Next is Beating the Blues by Seema Hingorani. Again, I think this was like maybe from like a book fair or something that I picked it up. And yeah, never felt like reading it. Never ever felt like reading it. So again, it's out because like I feel like one golden rule of just like giving away things and decluttering your house is that if you haven't thought about it in over a year, if you don't even know it's there in your house and you haven't missed it or missed having it for over a year, chances are you're never going to use that thing or read that book or wear those clothes. And so if you're looking for ways to like declutter your spaces, I think this is a very good rule to follow. At least it's one that I follow. Next is Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. Again, I have a version of this already, which I'm keeping. And so again, I have 2 versions of the same book, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So this one is out. The one that I like is on my bookshelf. The one that I don't like in terms of how it looks is getting donated. After that, I have The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. This one, I might keep this one because I was reading about it on Goodreads like yesterday. I was just going through like some of these books which I want to give away, and the ones that I wasn't very sure of, I actually did look them up on Goodreads. And this one actually does seem quite cute and like it seems like a comfort read. So I think I might actually keep this one. So this one is going up here with Disney's Land because I might actually want to read something comforting sometime soon. Speaking of comforting books, which I know I'm definitely giving away, it is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I know this is a highly beloved book, but I just don't think I will ever read this. I don't know. I don't think Matt Haig is the author for me. And I know a lot of you love him. It's just this is a personal choice. But I just feel like if I know that this is not the author for me, but this could be a book that helps someone else, this could be a book that someone else absolutely treasures, then let that person find this book because that person is not me, unfortunately. Next up is Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill. This is a really good book, actually. I really like it. I also think it's very beautiful and pretty, but I just don't think I'm ever going to read these like fairy tale poems again. So this one is also out. Next up is The Scion of Ikshvaku by Amish. I've never really liked Amish's books that much. Like they've been good, they've been okay. I don't feel any special connection to his books, and so I think all of his books that I have on my shelf I am unhauling basically because I don't feel connected to his books at all. After this is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Um, Neil Gaiman has turned out to be an absolutely disgusting human being. And yeah, I don't want his books on my shelf. I don't want his books on my shelves at all. Um, Speaking of like authors who I just cannot stand anymore, my Harry Potter books are also not going to be on my shelf because J.K. Rowling has turned out to be another despicable human being. I still don't have the strength to give away my Harry Potter books because they have shaped my childhood, and those are books that I will, I think, always cherish. And so I'm not giving them away. They are going to be neatly tucked away into a drawer and I'm going to keep them safe, but they will not be on my bookshelf. They will not be displayed proudly on my bookshelf because I don't think that author deserves space on my bookshelf, and neither does Neil Gaiman. So out, absolutely out. Next is The Wicked King by Holly Black. Actually, there are two more books in this series, which is the Folk of the Air trilogy. I think it's the Cruel Prince trilogy, and it this was like a guilty pleasure read for me. This entire trilogy, and it was fun up until the third book, which is this one. I think The Wicked King, which was just absolutely horrible, and so like I don't find myself ever revisiting this trilogy ever, and so again, this is out along with the other two books, and we'll get them. I see them here actually, so maybe let's just unhaul them right now. So yeah. Then we have Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. Again, very cute book, very, very fun. I do recommend this book a lot, but I do not find myself ever reading it again. And so that's why it's out. Like, it's not a bad book. I will keep recommending this book, especially if you want cozy fantasy, but I will never be reading it again. So someone else should have a chance to read it. After that, we have The Immortals of Meluha by Amish. I've already mentioned that I will be unhauling all of my Amish Tripathi books. And then we have The Queen of the Tearling book. So this is the first one, The Queen of the Tearling and the Invasion of the Tearling. And I read The Queen of the Tearling, I think, like 2016 or 2017. I can't remember. 2016, I think. And I did not like it. I don't know why I bought the second book. I thought maybe the series would get better, but I have not read it. I've not read the second book in 9 years. And I feel like if I haven't read it in 9 years, I'm never going to read it. And so it is out. Okay, so time to tackle this shelf. Let's just start with this one, which is another Amish book. We've spoken about Amish Tripathi books here, so that is definitely out. Next up, let's talk about Patrick Ness. The Knife of Never Letting Go, again, is a book like Queen of the Tearling that I read, I think, in 2016. And I really liked this book. Like, I really, really, really liked this book. I think I might have given it like 5 stars. Sorry, there's like dust on this. I might have given it 5 stars. I can't remember. But like, I remember absolutely enjoying this. And then I went and bought The Ask and the Answer and Monsters of Men. And I have never read them. Again, it's been more than like, I don't know, 7 years since I have read these books. And again, I don't think I'm ever going to read them. So yeah, these are out. Okay, let's go here, which is The Black Hill by Mamang Dai. Okay, this one again, I think I'm going to put in the keep pile because although I bought this book, I think last year or something, and then every time I have gone to pick it up, I haven't felt like reading it. This was the reason why I put it in the giveaway pile. But you know what? I think this deserves to be kept because it's one of the only books that I have on my bookshelf that represent the northeastern part of India. And I think it deserves to be on my shelf. And I think it deserves to be read at some point. Then we have A Dust Storm in Delhi by Meena Arora Nayak. Again, this was one that I randomly picked up because like I just felt the urge to buy something at a bookstore and I didn't really like think about what I was buying, I feel. And while this is a very interesting premise, it's a historical fiction set in Delhi. I think it says in the mid 13th century. But again, every single time I've seen this book, I have not felt like reading it. And so I think it's out. Yeah, because like if it doesn't spark joy, if you don't feel like you're going to read it, I think it should be out. All right, next is The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock. This one, again, I got in one of those like secondhand bookshop deal things. And yeah, since then I have tried like reading it. I've skimmed through it a little bit, not felt very compelled or interested in reading this one. So yeah, I was very excited when I got it, but now on like skimming through it a little bit, I don't think I'm ever going to read this. Next is, let's talk about these two books, which is the Empire by Devi Yeshodharan. I might keep this one. It says the Bahubali universe meets Wonder Woman. Okay, I might keep this one. I might feel like reading it at some point because I do like stories of war and I haven't read anything set in the Chola Empire. And so yeah, I think I will keep this one. Hunted by the Sky by Tanaz Bhatena. This one is out. And the thing is, I feel like I am no longer interested in reading a lot of young adult fantasy. There's nothing wrong with young adult fantasy. Don't get me wrong. Young adult fantasy is very imaginative. Young adult fantasy is very fast paced. It can be very, very interesting. One of my all time favorite series in fantasy is a young adult fantasy book, is a young adult fantasy book series, which is The Ember in the Ashes quartet. But I just don't feel like super compelled to read young adult right now. My moods might change. I might suddenly pick up a young adult book at some point, but right now, I don't think I want to read young adult fantasy, and so I don't think I will ever want to pick this up because of that. And it's a hardcover, and I feel very sad to give it up. But I think I'm giving it up because I don't think I will ever read it. Next, Lethal White by Robert Galbraith, who we all know who that is. So that is out. I've already spoken about her. Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuznair. Kuznair? I guess that's how you pronounce his or her name. I don't know. Um, this one, again, like it's very pretty and it looks very beautiful, but like if I'm going to read young adult, if I'm going to read a book which is like set in this sort of snowy landscapey theme, I'm probably going to want to read the Bear and the Nightingale series. I don't know if that's what it is, but like you know what I'm talking about. That's the book that I want to read if I go into like this snowy landscape and if I want to read young adult again. Next is the Chain of Iron. So the Last Hours trilogy. So basically, the other two books are here, which are also going to be given away. So this is a trilogy that is after the Infernal Devices trilogy, which is like Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, that trilogy. So, like, this trilogy follows characters from that trilogy, but this is so teenagey. Like, I really liked the first book. The second book also was good. It was okay. Like, I enjoyed it, but like, there was heavy usage of the miscommunication trope that was very, very, very teenagey that like annoyed me. And again, there's nothing wrong with the miscommunication trope. There's nothing wrong with books being teenagey in the sense of like written the way teenagers act. But I felt like this one was just heavily, heavily reliant on teenagers being teenagers and like not communicating with each other. And that was annoying for me to read. So it is going out, even though I haven't read the third book, but I don't think I will read the third book. Next is The Diary of a Nose. So I bought this book when I was studying perfumery in Paris. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever read this again. I read it that time and I liked it, but I don't think I'm ever going to read again. Next is The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. Again, a very good book. I really, really enjoyed reading this, but I don't think I'm ever going to read it again. This is a zombie book and it's done really well. Really, really well. So, highly recommend this one. After this, we have two more YA books, Guide to Vice and Virtue and Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. Again, two books I don't think I'm ever going to read. Just never ever wanted to read them. And I was stuck with these books when I was in like literal lockdown. Like I was, what was it called? Quarantine. Yes. I was stuck in quarantine and I had these books and I didn't feel like reading them. And so if you're stuck in a hotel room with nowhere to go and you still don't feel like reading these books that are there for your entertainment, I don't think you're ever going to read them. So yeah, those are out as well. Okay, next is Influence by Sarah Shepard and Lilia Buckingham. Very, very entertaining book, extremely entertaining mystery book, but I'm never going to read this again. So this is out. The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. I'm confused about this one. I don't think I'm ever going to read it, but I might. I don't know. I don't know. No, it's out. I don't. I've heard about this book a lot, and I've been very intrigued by it, which is why I bought it at an airport. But I don't think I'm ever going to read it. It's out. It's out. Next is Teething by Megha Rao. Beautiful poetry book, but I don't think I'm ever going to revisit the poems because they didn't really like speak to me personally. So that is getting unhauled as well. Next is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. One of my favorite books of all time. But the reason I'm unhauling this copy and I've literally bought another one is because in all of the moves that I have made, like shifting houses and stuff, this book got destroyed. Like the cover is peeling off. This like here it's like torn a little bit, and I want like a good copy of this on my bookshelf. And so I'm giving away this one, and I've just ordered a new copy, and that one is going to go on my bookshelf because like I love this book and it doesn't deserve to be all like battered and torn. Next is A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. This one, actually, I'm keeping this one. I bought this at like Shakespeare and Company in Paris when I was there on a trip. I don't know why that was in the giveaway pile. That should be kept. It basically recounts all of like Ernest Hemingway's adventures and his like time that he spent in Paris when he was writing, and I think that's very interesting. So that one is in the keep pile. Okay, next up we have The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. I've started reading this book multiple times, never been able to finish it, so it's out. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. I absolutely love this book, and I have a version of it on my bookshelf somewhere. Yeah, I've kept a version of this. I have two books, two same books basically, and I've kept the version that I like. So this one is out. Let's move these here. Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Started reading this book, could never finish it. Don't really like Ali Hazelwood's writing style, so that is out. Another Neil Gaiman book, which is definitely out. And these are the last two books. No, this is the last two books I think of the trilogy that I was talking about, which is the Last Hours trilogy, which also I do not want to read, so it is out. Okay, the last pile now, basically, of books. This one is Captain Corelli's Mandolin. Again, this is one of those secondhand bookshop deal things. Or maybe this was what I got in a mystery box. I can't really remember. But I don't want to read this. I don't even know what it's about, but I don't want to read it. There were points I feel like I bought books from like mystery boxes or secondhand bookshops because I wanted to make a video about like the service. And so I feel like I forced myself to buy books for the purpose of making that video. And I think this was one of those kind of books. A lot of the books which I said were from like secondhand bookshop things were like books that I forced myself to buy because I wanted to make a video for YouTube. And that was toxic as hell. So yeah, never gonna read this. So that's out. 2 years, 8 months, and 28 nights by Salman Rushdie. I honestly think this belongs to my dad. I've never bought a Salman Rushdie book, so I'm keeping this because I think it's my dad's. I think it's my dad's book, so that stays. Next is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. Absolutely adore this book. Love it, love it, love it. But I think I'm going to get a different edition for my bookshelf. I'll probably buy a nicer, fancy edition of it and keep that on my bookshelf. That's the plan for Angels and Demons. Next is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Absolutely devoured this book when I was younger, but I don't think I'm ever going to read this again. If you guys want a really fun, like video game themed sci-fi book, definitely pick this one up. But yeah, I don't ever think I'm going to read this again. So this one is out as well. Similarly, with like Landline and Attachments, these are books by Rainbow Rowell that I really loved. At some point, she writes very nice adult romances, but these I might actually give away to some friends who I think would absolutely enjoy these books. And so, yeah, they're going away. They're going away. They won't be on my bookshelf. Next is Neither Here Nor There by Bill Bryson, another very nice travelogue sort of book. If you want a book that's very witty and funny and then talks about like a person's travels through Europe, I think you will really like this. And I still absolutely love traveling, but I don't think I'm ever going to read this one again. Next is Death Note. I think this is the first book, the first manga. What I realized is the pack of books that I bought from the market in South Bombay, those were all pirated. And so I think I'm giving away the entire set of Death Note that I have because I don't want to keep pirated books on my bookshelf. And also, I don't know if I'm going to be continuing the series. I read, I think, the first 8 mangas, and then the story felt like it kept getting a little bit repetitive. And so I don't know if I'll ever continue reading Death Note. And anyway, the books that I have are pirated copies, and so I am giving these away. Next is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. Again, don't ever think I'm going to read this book. Next up is Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. Read this book, quite liked it, but will never read it again. Absolutely never read it again. So, yeah, this was the very first Murakami book that I read. And his writing is okay, I guess, but have never felt like reading any more of his books after reading this one. So I'm never coming back to this one for sure, but I don't even know if I'm going to read more Murakami, honestly, after this. Next is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Absolutely, absolutely hate this book. So it's out. It's going off of my shelf. Okay, after this, I spoke about this during my like the reel that I made. And that is the Percy Jackson books. I know a lot of you love Percy Jackson, and I also absolutely adore Percy Jackson, but I don't think I'm ever going to reread these books, and I don't particularly have such a strong attachment to them that I want them on my bookshelf. And so I think they deserve to go to a reader who will absolutely cherish them and love them and keep rereading them. Maybe if I'd read these books when I was younger, if I was like a child, I would have really, really loved them, and I would have like developed a deep attachment to these books. But I read them when I was an adult, and yeah, absolutely love these books. They're very, very well written and they're super fun, but they are going to get unhauled, and hopefully they'll find a home and someone who will love them and cherish them and like create a little shrine for them on their bookshelf because that's what they deserve. Next is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I actually have these wonderful copies of Mistborn over here that my friend gifted to me on my birthday. And so this one, which looks like pretty crappy compared to them, like what is this cover? This cover looks so like not good. And so this one is getting unhauled because I have these beautiful books here already. Next is The Empire of the Mughal. Again, okay, this is my dad's book. He loves these like dynasty war books things by Alex Rutherford. I think this belongs to my dad. So this is staying and I'm giving it back to my dad. Next is Arushi by Aviruk Sen. Very nice Indian true crime book. I think I'm keeping this. This one stays, I think. It was one of the first true crime books that I read, and I've really, really enjoyed it. So that one is staying on my shelf. Next up is mugglenet.com is What Will Happen in Harry Potter 7. Okay, to be very honest with you guys, I'm very torn about what I should do with things related to Harry Potter. This one has nothing to do with She Who Must Not Be Named. And so I think I'll keep it. If you've ever been in like the Harry Potter fandom in the like early 2000s and like all of the theories discussing like what was going to happen in Deathly Hallows, if you were part of the fandom at that time, you know what I'm talking about when I say MuggleNet and like Mugglecast and Pottercast, which were the two most famous Harry Potter podcasts back then. So yeah, I think that stays just for nostalgia value, to be honest. Then we have Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, another really good classic, but I don't think I'm ever going to read this ever again. So this is out. Oh gosh, another Neil Gaiman book that is out. This is The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. This I realized is like a pirated copy. I definitely want to read N.K. Jemisin. She's one of the authors that's been on my like to be read list for a very, very long time because I think she's a phenomenal fantasy author. At least that's what everyone says. So I definitely want to read N.K. Jemisin, but I don't want to have a pirated copy of her book on my shelf. And I don't even think this is like the first one. I don't even know which book this is. I think this is the third book of the trilogy. So it's very random and I don't know why I have it. So I'm unhauling this one and I will probably buy like a proper copy of that trilogy. Next is The Diviners by Liv Bray, another book that has been on my bookshelf for years. Years and years and years. And I have never ever felt like reading it. So same thing with The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness, has been on my bookshelf for years. Absolute years. Next is Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I do not like the fact that this book has the TV show cover on it, or like the movie cover on it. No, it says Netflix original series, so it's the TV show. I don't like that about it, but I do want to read it. And so it's staying. But if I like this book a lot, if I really, really like it, I might actually get another version of it. So I might be giving away this one and getting another version which doesn't have the TV show cover on it because like I despise those books. Next is Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich, a wonderful urban fantasy book that I really enjoyed reading, but I don't think I'm ever going to reread it, or like I don't have any emotional attachment to it. This is about like a cop that solves murder mysteries in London, and he uses like ghosts and other creatures, paranormal creatures, to help him solve those mysteries. I don't see myself ever rereading this book, so it's out. Next is Mr. Fox by Helen Oyeyemi. I had bought this book because I wanted to do a video of reading like the strangest and weirdest books of all time. Like this was a video idea I had like 3 years ago, and I never got around to doing that video. And then I started reading this book and just never could get into it. And I feel like reading this book might actually put me in a reading slump because it's just very, very strange. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to read this. I don't think I'm ever going to read this. Next is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Wong. Again, I bought this book because of the hype, and I don't know, like, I've never felt like reading it. This one I'm going to keep in the maybe pile. You guys let me know in the comments if I should read this. Please let me know if I should read this. I'm not sure. I might actually just give it away because I've never felt compelled to read it. Next is The Impossible Life by Matt Haig. This is the same thing as The Midnight Library. I just don't think Matt Haig is the author for me. And so I am giving this up. Next up is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. Been on my bookshelf for almost 10 years, I think now. I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah. At least like since maybe 2016, so 9 years. And never felt like reading it. So again, that is out. And last, this should not be here. Coming Out is Dalit. It's definitely a keep. Okay, where do I keep it? I'll keep it here for now. That is definitely a keep book because yeah, I've been wanting to read that book for a while and I don't know how it got into the go away pile. But yes, we are done with sorting through all of these books. So now I'm going to count them and I'm going to let you know how many books I'm giving away. So, as you can see, these shelves are empty right now, and I have finished counting all of the books that I'm giving away, and it is a whopping total of 85 books. Yes, I'm giving away 85 books, and these are books that I'm sure that I want out and like donated and given away to readers who will absolutely cherish them and love them. And yes, I am still thinking about how I want to donate these. Some of them I might actually want to give to friends who I think will really like them. Some of them I might want to donate to like libraries, and some I might actually want to donate to you guys in some way. I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, I'm giving away 85 books and I'm really, really, really happy because now I feel like it opens up so much space on my bookshelf for me to bring in newer books and books that I genuinely want on my shelf. Like I've always wanted special edition classics, for example. Like I don't have Jane Austen books on my shelf and I absolutely love her books. And so it gives me space to bring in books that I want on my shelf. And so, yes, this was a very cathartic experience. And I hope you guys enjoyed going through all of these books and like my rationale behind ruthlessly getting rid of some books. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think. And of course, I will see you guys next time. Bye.